Hey guys, welcome back to FoolCraft 3. You may notice I am in the air quite a bit, just kind of floating here. Top left of the screen, jetpack fuel, that's new. Yeah, so I got the mod pack working again. We're not on the wall version anymore. That one got really grindy. I may go back to it here and there just to show you guys what's going on. I'm kind of back and forth. But that one got really grindy and can't really progress that much in it. It's Skyblock, but it's not made that pack. This pack is not made to be Skyblock. There's a lot of just things you can't do. So anyway, I'm back here in the regular FoolCraft 3. Went ahead and updated the pack version and figured out what the AE2 system problem that I was having, and it seems like the JEI crashes have been resolved. So yeah, we're gonna continue. So yeah, that's running down pretty quick. I went ahead and made a jetpack. I was trying to make an angel ring, and I got a lot of the material for an angel ring together. Let me show you guys this here. So I actually have all of this stuff here. I'll show you guys the setup that I have for the gas and the blaze. Well, the blaze was just a spawner in the nether that I was in there killing the blazes for like 2 hours trying to get a statue. Finally got one. The gas took less time once I figured out that they wouldn't spawn in the overworld because I had the room they were spawning in slightly too small. I had it like 4 blocks across and it needed to be 5 across from the middle. So, well, actually it's like 11 interior, 11 by 11 inside. But anyway, got that. Nether stars, no problem. I have the wither killer fully automated, and I've got wither skeletons being spawned and killed for the heads. Soul sand, if I run out, I can just go back to the nether and grab. Curse lasso, no problem. Golden lasso, no problem. Drop of evil, I've got like 10 million of those. So then we just need this flux infused jet plate, right? And this is basically a chest plate armor with a jetpack in it. So we look at this. All right. Fluxed armor plating. Actually not that hard to make. I made a bunch of signalum. Diamonds are everywhere. Cryothium coolant unit. So I made a bunch of these. This is just tin, signalum, and some hardened tin or silver or any kind of hardened glass. You fill that with gelid cryothium in a transposer. I made a bunch of thermal expansion machines also. I'll show you guys when we get back to the base. I made the chest plate assembly. That's actually really easy to make. It's just these armor platings. And that actually is not armor. It's just an item that looks like armor. The flux thrusters, these took a little bit. You need glowstone elevation units, which are these little cell things again, but with aluminum and signalum and aluminum. That is glowstone, silver, and tin, just alloy furnace together. You fill that with melted down glowstone in your transposer. The melted down stuff you get from the magma crucible, by the way. Got one of those set up. I have several tanks full of miscellaneous liquids in my base now. So 2 of those per thruster, and then you also need the resonant thruster, which is Enderium. That was a little difficult to make because I didn't remember how to melt down ender pearls correctly before I made the magma crucible. I was using the foundry mod to do that and then piping it into a tank from there. So you can use the foundry melter, which actually doesn't show up there. Oh, it doesn't show up because it's not the liquid form that I'm looking at here. But you need to make the resonant ender by melting down ender pearls, and then you get platinum and lead, and just put that together. And then the blend, you have to put in a furnace with sand right there. So that's that. Back. Resonant flux ducts, these are a little difficult because you have to go through a couple of stages. You have to make the signalum flux ducts and then add stuff to those. The signalum ones are redstone with signalum. The redstone ones are filled with the liquefied redstone in a transposer, and those are made out of electrum and hardened glass. The electrum is gold and silver alloy. So let's go back up the tree. Destabilized redstone, you can just melt down redstone in the magma smelter for that. Magma crucible, I mean. You can also find that there's some ore down near lava layer. And you can melt it, or you can, whenever you mine it, if you don't have silk touch, it'll spawn source blocks of destabilized redstone. So, yeah, you can get it that way also. That's how I got my first couple of buckets of that. And then I figured out you could just melt down redstone. You need the innervation dynamo. That is flux. That's an RF generator. Iron, electrum, redstone, more electrum. Yeah, silver. Gold and silver and iron, basically, 99% of that. So 2 of those setups, right? No, just 1 of those. Twice, yeah. 1 for each of these, and then 2 of these thrusters. So yeah, 2 of those. Then, once you get all that done, and you make the jetpacks all the way up the entire tier of jetpacks, my ME crafting system is completely filled with all these recipes now. I actually had to make 3 extra molecular assemblers and interfaces full, so like 27 more recipes worth of stuff to get up to here. And the armor plating, which you then have to go through an induction smelter, so I had to make an induction smelter because this doesn't work in any other machine. You have to make iron armor plating, which is 5 iron and 4 tin. And then you throw that in with a bunch of bronze ingots to make the bronze plating. Throw the bronze back in with tin invar to get the invar plating. And then throw that back in with enderium to get the enderium plating. Then you craft it with your resonant jetpack to get the resonant jetpack armored. And then you come back up here and you have your flux pack. So this is basically the giant battery that holds all the power for your jetpack once it's made. This has power in it, and then that's 25 million. That's the one I'm running on right now. And then this thing is another 40 million. So the final product is 50 million. That doesn't add up correctly, but you know, whatever. 50 million is a lot of power. So the resonant flux pack, this is where I got hung up at. Not for lack of trying. So the recipe for this: enderium armor and plating, not a problem. We can do that again. Resonant flux pack, all right. Recipe for this: resonant energy cell, enderium ingots, redstone conductance, not hard. Energy cell, resonant. No recipe. Reinforced flux pack has a recipe. Energy cell reinforced, no recipe. So yeah, energy cell basic, no recipe. So if we go over here and we look up cell, these that are full are the ones that it wants. You have to make by making a frame and then filling the frame with the other stuff, right? So I know that much. Thermal expansion is old school. So let's look at, let's say, the resonant one. Yeah, no recipe for the empty frame. There's no recipe for these at all. Signalum frame, no recipe. Reinforced, no recipe. Hardened, no recipe. Basic, that's it. Just the basic one. But I think, let me check one last thing that I just thought of. If they change the way that it works, the thermal expansion machines had these upgrade items that you just kind of right click at them. This stuff here. Do I have to do that? Upgrades a block. Oh, it doesn't say machine. Ah, I'll have to try that then. But I need the basic one, and then I need the reinforced one, and then I need the signalum one, then I need the resonant one. So really, I have to make one of those, 2 of those, 3 of these, and 4 of those, right? And then 4 of the, or 5 of the base ones? Anyway, I'll get around to doing that later. I'll try it out off camera we have now sunk down pretty low to the ground. I'm on hover mode. I was actually out here looking for, I don't know if you guys can see it. If I go down a little bit right there, the inventory pets cloud islands. I've been hunting these things down because I want a cloud pet since the jetpack idea kind of fell through. These things spawn blazes also. Let me just get rid of these clouds. These are the spawners right here. And you can't get the cloud blocks at all because this pick is silk touched. You can't get them. They break just like the spawners in those rooms from the other map. What do we got? The cheetah pet, haste and super speed boost, bunch of nuggets. Yeah, that's pretty standard. All the rest of this stuff. Been looking for the cloud pet and haven't got one yet. I've dug through about 20 of those so far probably. Alright, let's head back to the house. Well, we could fly there, or I went ahead and made a warp stone for the house. And there's all kinds of other warp stone locations here. Just stuck it up on top there. There's all kinds of other warp stones because I've been finding villages while I'm exploring since I got the jetpack. Ooh, that's framey. Alright, turn off hover mode. We don't need that. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting into astral sorcery also. Whoa, lag? Hello? Please load. Do the things. Wow, that's really framey. Alright, let me go over here. I wasn't doing this earlier. It's probably just because I'm recording. Nope, it's still loading stuff. We're good. So here's all the inventory pets I've gone through so far. At least most of them. There's a couple here. Just a few. I don't have anywhere to put this cheetah pet. Let's put the almond away, because that's an actual item. These other ones I silk touched off of trees. Well, sheared off of trees. The Pam's stuff you can get off of trees. So the kitchen is slightly different. I took all of the tools and food out of this stuff and made another ME storage system underneath here. There's 9 refrigerators, like that one, the cooking for blockhead ones. There's 9 of these under the floor here, all hooked up to an ME system. And this is all the food storage because I had a ton of food just everywhere, filling up all the cabinets and everything. And ran out of space and made more shelves and ran out of space and started hiding it places around the base and ran out of space again. So yeah, this was the easiest solution. Just store it in here. It doesn't have any of the ME storage in it because I was testing out if the fridge would work with the ME system, and it does, and that's about the only thing in this mod that works with that mod. So yeah, the cooking table that automatically make stuff for you. How can I make cookies? Yeah, there's nothing here. I can make water because of that. Anyway, the cooking table that automates all your crafting stuff here, you have to manually interact with. It doesn't play with a interface from AE2. So, you know, a little bit of a bummer there, but it all works out. So yeah, I've got just a ton of food all in there. If you want to browse through that, scroll back up here. So here's what I'm running on right now. Let's look at our nutrition. Dairy, milk buckets, infinitely fill that up so it stays full all the time. Fruit, we've got apple juice. You can just drink that all day. Fill that all the way up to 100. Vegetable, you can do carrot juice. So like actually these items here are pretty accurate. Vegetable, you can just do carrot juice. It's exactly the same as the apple juice. Fill that all the way up all the time. So I've got some spares of that in my inventory here. And then we have to worry about grain and protein. Grain, easy to get. You can actually just eat wheat straight off the ground. Bread, baguettes, you know, whatever. Easy to get. And then protein. That's any kind of meat, basically, and even some of the plants that I was eating before. But what I found was there's a 5.6% gain for grain, protein, and vegetable in these McPams, which is basically like a McDonald's rip-off burger item. Oh, hello. That's not what I was looking at. So these, not super complicated to make once you get all the ingredients for it. So it's any kind of beef, steak, whatever, lettuce, pickle, onion, and toast. So that's really easy to get stuff there. Cutting board, easy to make. And the salad dressing. This is where I had trouble, alright? So salad dressing. You make that with salt, that's infinite. Cooking oil, not hard to make because you can make it with wheat seeds or any kind of seed. No problem there. The juicer, I've got like 6 or 7 of those laying around from making apple juice all day. Vinegar. Okay, so the vinegar, right? Grape juice and a pot. That's the only way to make vinegar. So grape juice, you're like, alright, it's the same as apple juice and whatever. You just make the juice, right? 2 grapes and a juicer. No big deal. Well, the grapes only come from tropical gardens. If you go running around outside and you find these gardens, these things right here, yeah, the tropical garden is the only one you can get grapes out of, and I had apparently never found one of those before. So I spent about 2 hours running around all over the map, and I kid you not, to find that one right there, 2 hours. And then, well, no, it wasn't that one. I actually found the first one I found took forever. Luckily, this one wasn't too far away. But the first one I found took 2 hours, and then I broke it, didn't get a grape. Well, dang it. So these things actually spread across the ground. If you have them on the ground and you just let them sit there, they spread out around, like nearby them on grass around them, or like the arid ones spread out to sand around them. And I'm going to set up a system to automate growing and harvesting these somewhere under the kitchen or in the walls. Probably in that giant quadrant of space right there behind this wall. Let me grab this and show you guys. Let's grab one I've got multiple of here, like this frost garden. So let me run out here to the grass and show you what's up. If I just plop this down right there, so this will try to spread to nearby, well, there's actually a few right there, not these, but the other ones. That'll try to spread to nearby grass blocks, and it can skip, I think, 2 blocks, so it can go to like probably there in any direction. But it takes time. If you do the whole crop dusting thing, I think it helps. But that can get annoying, and it doesn't help a whole lot. Yeah, there goes 1. So now we have 2, and they'll both try to spread. And they check around them for up to a limit of how many of these are around. So if there's like, I don't remember the exact number, but let's just say there's like 10. If it says, hey, there's 10 of me around here, it won't grow anymore. So if you want to keep them growing, you got to break the new ones. So you got to keep one as a seed. It's kind of like a mushroom farm. But anyway, so these you just hit them and they break. But if you hold down shift and you hit them, they come up off the ground and you can take them with you and replant them somewhere else. So that's what I've done to all the ones that I have stored in the ME system. So I can just take it off over somewhere else and plant it back down. Well, they take a little while to grow, and that's when I remembered I've got this Harvest Goddess band. This thing is nuts, right? I don't know if I showed you guys the recipe for this a while back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did, because I mentioned Iron Band. 2 dark matter, 4 of any kind of sapling, 2 poppies, which I think actually have to be poppies, because that's not changing. Yeah, Iron Band, easy to make. But this thing is nuts when it comes to these gardens. Watch this thing grow. Look, it's like, really? Wildfire. It's already over there. You break them and they just keep growing. It might only check for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there one more like down here somewhere? But they go crazy when you have this thing. So let me pick that one back up. Anyway, and then they all produce like varieties of foods, which then clog up every inventory ever known to man, which is why I put together that ME system downstairs under the kitchen to put all the food in. So let's start tossing stuff in here. That's the garden itself. That goes back in our main storage. Cabbage, oats, rutabaga, raspberry, cauliflower, celery, and I think that's all the food except for what I'm going to eat. And put that back in there. I can get rid of this stuff. And that. And that. Whoops. I always do that. I hit E to exit that like it's my inventory or a chest or something. Alright, let's see. What else? This reminds me, and that reminds me. I set up an experience station thing here in the base. The experience things, these little solidified experience items coming out of all of our mob spawners and grinders and killers I've got sitting around. Like the Wither Killer, the Darkroom spawner that I put a actual spawner machine in. That thing hanging off the bottom of it is where I put the ghasts and various other spawns that I'm trying to get statues out of. Couldn't think of the word. That's where I manually kill mobs to get statues. And then, of course, our old one over here that I changed very slightly. I put dark glass around it so I can see what's going on in there. All the ones coming out of there. And the random ones I pick up from killing stuff around. Sit still. Yeah, they'll have to go somewhere. Yeah, I was just dropping them in the regular ME system. It was taking up a lot of space because I don't know if you saw the number, but there's a ton of them. But I went ahead and made a system over there to store them, and I linked it up all with Ender Chest, this triple lime for the experience, and they all get deposited in there. So there's one at each area here to basically consolidate all of the experience items. And these cats, I figured out what happens with the cats. If one of the Wither Witches spawns kind of close to the edge of the wall here, on one of those spaces, the cat spawns within a block or two of the witch and can be like on the roof, stuck in the ceiling a little bit, or actually like partway in the glass and it just puts the cat outside the glass. And if one spawns like there, it tries to clip into this block and can go outside. So yeah, those witches are just kind of everywhere. Or the cats, I mean, the wither cats kind of just go everywhere. But then also, the fans weren't really keeping up with the mobs. If you look, if they're trying to walk a certain direction, they can actually fight the fans effectively. And it keeps them from getting killed. Because they're like souped up mobs on that cursed earth in there. They can actually fight the fan like those guys are doing. So in the corners, I put these interdiction torches. And they basically create a field around it. Kind of like in a 360, like a dome, a bubble. And they prevent mobs and projectiles from going into that area. It pushes them away from it. So if you see them, they spawn and then take off toward the center. That's why these torches are pushing them back that way. And then the fans are in there just to kind of help. So that just keeps them from getting stuck in these corners. What else? Oh, I automated this thing down here. Let's morph down real quick. So the final item chest here. Whoa, hello. What is going on? Game crash? Hello? Game crash? Huh. Alright, well, I may have to restart this real quick. Yeah, alright, well, crash. Iron chest. Huh. I guess that crystal chest didn't like me trying to sort it. Oh well. We're going on. Well, we're at 25 minutes. I'll get around to that later. I basically was just gonna say I automated exporting items from that chest into the little single ME storage that holds all the potions, so I don't have to worry about it clogging up as easy. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end the episode here and then reboot this because it takes a minute and continue with the updates and things. So yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys then. Have a good day.